Hey guys, and welcome back to Mini UK Park for the penultimate, whatever. Now, I know I said I was going to do the Hogwarts thing today, but I don't know. For some reason, I had like a knot in my brain and it said I definitely need to do something with the staff stuff. I need a staff section. I can't build Hogwarts before I have sorted this situation out with all the staff buildings I need to breed dinosaurs. And then I thought, oh, wow, I haven't built a staff section in a while. Let's do that. And let's make it make sense, at least a little bit. So I placed some buildings I thought that would make sense in a staff section, you know, like this control center and the rangers. And probably I was going to need a paleomedical facility. And then I placed a staff center as well. And a shelter. And for some reason, what made sense to me, what like it came down to was that I thought build something where neither ranger nor vet has to drive through like tons of decorations and around corners and everything to get out of there or to reach their destination. So I wanted them to have a clear path to the fence that I was going to build around this staff section, because that's what also made sense to me to, you know, whatever is happening there is valuable and needs to be protected by security. So it would make sense to put a fence around it. And so I designed those paths that lead straight to two gates that are just opposite of the ranger station and the paleomedical facility. And when I was decorating, I kind of forgot about that idea until I remembered again. So I placed this fence all around it. Also wanted to make sure that the rangers and vets had easy access to the hatchery. Then I placed security cameras at the entrance of this because I mean, as I said, it's valuable stuff in there and not everybody has access. I'm going to add a lab tour later. So there's some sort of access for the public, but not inside of the staff section. You're going to see what I mean by that. And also, we're in UK, so I should have probably put cameras all over the place, but let's just pretend they're hidden and invisible so you don't feel as watched as you are in UK. Anyhow, part of what's making sense to me is that this feels like a real place. Well, duh. But that's the reason why I included this little seating section next to the staff section, and I decorated so it looks a little bit nicer. You know, the fence isn't as depressing as fences usually are, and added trash cans and all this sorts of stuff that adds to the story that this is a real place. And so now I started to separate those paths that lead to the gates from the paleomedical facility and the ranger station. And while I was doing that, to be honest, like full disclosure, also sorry that this is a speed build again. I'm really exhausted, but let's talk about this later. I was talking on the phone with my best friend for 2 hours while I decorated this, and probably wasn't as focused as I could have been. So right now, I forgot that I wanted everyone to have clear access to the hatchery. So I placed these concrete barriers and sort of cut off the vet vehicles from the staff section, which is something that I'm going to correct later. But for now, I kept putting some tables and chairs, as you see, for the rangers and vets to hang out, you know. Oh, and this is when I realized, we got something small. Let's put it in front of the staff section. It makes total sense to add John Hammond there. And that's about all the reaction that was that happened. But what's more important is that right now, after placing the floodlights, I realized I had cut off the veterinarians from the hatchery. So I deleted the concrete barriers again and the lights I had placed because I didn't want any obstacles in their way. So instead, I decided to add a separation between the path, between whatever. I don't even know what I wanted this to be right at this moment. And because I didn't, I immediately started putting stuff in the way again and creating this little storage section where they're keeping lots of cages, mostly small ones because we have more small creatures in this park than big ones. And I placed a floodlight in the middle of the road that I wanted to be used by rangers and vets because I was talking on the phone. Maybe that's just the reason. And the crane, which I mean has wheels, so it can be moved. But then I realized, again, you made the same mistake again. So I deleted the floodlight, expanded the concrete barrier of the storage section. And then I realized I need to figure out how to conduct those vehicles. So I elongated, like I literally cut off the driveway from people walking there. I mean, they can step over those concrete barriers, but just to make clear that this is where cars are driving, don't put anything there, and please don't hang out there because in case of emergency, they need the space. They need to be unobstructed to immediately head there. So I did that. Added some more storage because if not everything is neat and tidy and stuff is cluttered all over the place, it seems more lived in, more realistic. So I added cages and things all over the place, not to make it cluttered or messy, but to make it look more realistic. And then I added floodlights to the driveways of the vets and the rangers. And now that I had figured out how to lead their way, all of a sudden it makes much more sense. So we have walkways like where the tables and chairs are and in front of the ranger station, and the rest is a driveway that needs to be well lit with floodlights. Yeah, and then I added like these containers in the back, this little backyard I created there. It seemed like the perfect place to add containers and boxes and these tanks and stuff. So no ranger or vet related stuff, but maybe some things that you need to keep this thing running. So another little shed, maybe for janitors, and supplies to do the splicing and dicing, like diluted genomes or what? Yeah, in case you were wondering what they're keeping in these boxes, it's diluted genomes or my diluted brain. And then I went back to the statue and was like, let's put lights next to it. And I realized how small it was. Yeah, it's even smaller than Mr. DNA. And I was like, okay, fuck it. I don't care. And I just went straight back to decorating the rest of this, putting lights in front of the entrances of every building, and went back to add some more greeblies and hoosies to the rangers and vet hangout place they have there together. All sorts of stuff to make it look more realistic and to give it more of a personal touch. I added those planters, so they have something that makes it look a little bit nice. And they are those wooden planters because maybe some of them has a green thumb and likes to take care of plants, and just added them there. And then I added those floodlights to the outside of the fence, which was genius because like this, they're not in the way. I had now created a separation from the entrance of the ranger station to the driveway. And now it started to make sense. Now I could just go on and add all kinds of small things all over the place and add concrete barriers where I felt it makes sense, like this little storage section of the vet station. But I thought separating certain areas with concrete barriers makes sense when you have these cranes driving around so they don't knock things over accidentally, you know? And also it helps structuring this area. It adds structure is what I want to say. The path colors help, but to reinforce those with a wall of some kind always makes it look more purposeful and more thought out. And then I went again to the staff center that in my head was some sort of a mess hall, because I have the control center that in my space, in my head, works as an office building, so we don't need another. This is just a place where you can have some downtime and eat. So I wanted to make it nice, and I realized they have benches in the back. So I added planters in front of the fence and in front of the building. So it's just a little nicer, and you just don't look at this fence when you step out from the back. And then I went to check this at nighttime because, as I said in a previous video, I actually love building with the day-night cycle on, but it's bad for editing. But still, I just like the lighting mood it gives us. So I checked how it looks at night. I gave this shelter a green light. So, because it's the universal color of emergency exit spaces, and a red light at the front of the section to indicate that this is not open to the public. And then I went in and added some of the smaller lights to the entrance of this little seating section at the staff center and around this concrete barrier I had just put up. And I changed the lighting color to something more yellowy, just a soft touch of yellow, a warmer white, a warm off-white. And I liked it. The only thing missing now was 2 floodlights where those 2 trees are that are not illuminated, to have this area properly lit for the rangers. So I added those and placed some more trees around the whole thing because I wanted to hide the ugly fence and have it be invisible. And then I was happy, thought I was done. But then I started to remember that I said to myself, let's make this make sense, Miri. And just for a second thought about the splicing and dicing and was wondering, where were they going to do that? Probably not in a hatchery because it's pretty small. Once there's a dinosaur in there, there's no space for anything else. So I decided to add an attraction with the lab tour and pretend that this is the lab. So that would mean that the lab has an access area that is open to public where the tour is taking place, and the back side of the lab is connecting to the inside of the staff section and is not open for to the public. Yeah, that's what I did. And then I decided I was kind of thinking that I should maybe add Metri here somewhere, but I decided that there was just not enough space for it. I'm probably going to add it in the Hogwarts exhibit, the Hogwarts tour that I'm going to do in the next episode. And tried to, I've instead decided to do something garden-esque, add another little hotel section, create again a windy path down to there, just because I thought, well, the rangers, all the staff, they are not going to live there. They will have to walk there every morning and walk out of the park every evening. So I got a comment, and I really liked the idea to do a little small tour with small ceratopsians. And I would have done that if I hadn't built a staff section. I'm so sorry, but it didn't make sense to me to have them take the tour to reach the staff section. Yeah, so I decided to create again one of those windy paths. And I know technically this staff section doesn't make sense as soon as you step out of it. Because my enclosures are not built in a way that would grant access to anyone. Most of them, some of them, not all of them, but anyhow. But still, inside, it makes sense. And that was my goal for today. But if I wanted this to make sense in the entire park, to pretend this is a working, functioning section, I would have had to build it first, at least to my experience. That's sort of key to create a working staff section that makes sense and that actually works, is to plan it in first, to build it first, and everything else around it. Otherwise, at least I'm not capable to do this. But let me just say, if you are interested in more staff section stuff and how to plan them, just stay tuned. I have something in the works that has been in the works for a long time that is going to address and show you multiple ways of creating super cool staff sections. But actually, since why not just talk about the future now? Let's talk about the future. And as I said, I was going to talk about why this is a speed build again. I have again reached a point where I have a base level of exhaustion that I didn't feel capable of building and talking at the same time. I was very fine talking to my best friend on the phone while putting trees and concrete barriers down and stuff, but that's something else. That's another level of, I don't know, brain capacity that is active. And I know that right now, this period of time of the year is the worst to take a break, but I will need to take a break. Once this park is finished, and that's going to be after Hogwarts is finished and I'll do the tour, I will have to do a 2-week break, a vacation, because, well, I just feel it when I'm building. I have ideas, but it's just, I'm not at my top, at my A game. And I have so much stuff planned and I have things recorded already that just need editing, but I can't get around to it because I don't have enough energy. So I just need to fill up my tank, my energy reserves for 2 weeks or so before I can start what I'm so looking forward to starting. And I just, really, it's hard for me. I really want to get there and get these things started that I have planned, but it's better for me, and it's probably better for the things I have planned to just take a short break, reload my batteries and start fresh. So, keep my brain out of the game so that I can come back with an empty brain and room for ideas. Because right now it's just filled up. There's no space for anything left. So, after this is done, I'll take a break for 2 weeks, I guess. And I recommend you stay still tuned and maybe activate notifications, because, well, what can I say? It's going to be great. What I'm going to do next will be awesome. So, I mean, it would be your loss if you didn't subscribe or activate notifications. So that's that. And also, just to get it out of the way and to sort of prepare you, statistically and according to my experience, the time before Christmas is the most active on YouTube, but January is like it's deserted, it's dead. And I know that some YouTubers, like, they say, every January, I just do nothing because it's not worth it. Not in the terms of not worth of putting content out there. Of course, doing content is great and is always fun. And I've noticed this last year, January, YouTube is a dead space. It's so weird, but that's true. And since I'm already so exhausted and I'm pretty bad at taking care of myself, but I just need to do that with depression and everything. That's just key to me not going insane again, basically. So I decided I'm going to do that too. I'm going to take a break in January. I'm taking the whole month off. I will still be doing my monthly Patreon live streams because that's fun and that's just 2 hours. So I can do that. By the way, patrons, we still need to find a date for this month. I do want to do this. And now let me shortly get back to the build, because I had again relocated this statue, and it just felt so silly, this small little dude in front of the lab. So I thought, let's put the Rex next to it and have it like look as if it's crushing it with its foot. It's just for fun. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, that looks kind of cool. Let's add the Alamosaurus as well. And what can I say? This little arrangement of the two skeletons with Hammond in front, I gotta say, even if he's really small, it just fits with those two because it emphasizes how giant those animals were. And him just standing in front with his proud posture, it's like saying, look at me, this is my I'm bringing these magnificent giant creatures back to the world. And sort of this arrangement, I gotta say, I don't know if I'm going to use this statue much, but this arrangement makes sense to me. This way, he doesn't look forlorn and completely like this small little dude, and you're like, okay, but seriously, couldn't you have made it bigger? Because now you don't need to make it bigger because it's part of an installation of some sort. By the way, I spontaneously decided to make this little pond situation another habitat, a walkthrough habitat for our cute little friends, the Lystrosaurus. I don't know how to pronounce them. I think it's Lystrosaurus. I thought that was cute, just to have something dinosaur-esque living there. Yeah, and now just putting up some nature decorations and what was I talking about? I was talking about me taking breaks. Yes, I need them. I'm sorry. I hope you understand. I hope you won't be mad because I'm already saying I'm going to take the whole January off. It's not because of you. It's because of me. I just need a vacation. I just need room to do something different, something else, so I can come back and do some new awesome stuff for you guys and, to keep it fresh. And I thought, since January is traditionally a month where subscription-wise, there's just no movement whatsoever. I hope you won't be mad about that, but I thought this was actually the perfect timing to take a longer period of a break. So just to, give you a heads up what's going to happen in the future. Yeah, and again, if you're interested in staff section stuff, stay tuned. It's all I can say. It's all I can say. So yeah, and that's the build, guys. I hope you like it. I hope you had some fun with it or some inspirations. If, by the way, you have ideas for the Muggle Hogwarts exhibit I'm planning on doing, just put them in the comments because I'm not fixated on ideas. I just know I want to do the Muggle Hogwarts, but it's going to be an improvisation again. So suggestions are always welcome. I think I'm going to add lots of hybrids because the Indoraptor to me always looks like a dragon without wings. So a Hagrid's hut needs a dragon, of course. And yeah, putting Matry in there somewhere because Matry is a UK dinosaur, so it needs to be happening in this park. But that's it. Hope you like this. Hope you won't be mad that the next video is going to be a speed build too. But I just can't. My brain is all sucked out of energy and things. So yeah. Okay, stop talking, Miri. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please leave a like. If you want to support me on Patreon and join our little live streams, then the link is in the description. All you have to do is follow it. And that's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay creative, and do what's fun. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.